playing. Good day, world. Welcome to Be in the Moment. It is my great honor to be here today with Kurt Wuckert Jr., Bitcoin historian and developer and leader of the Gorilla Pool Mining Collective. Good day.
How are you, Rory?
Fabulous. I'm so happy to be here. We are live from the London Blockchain Conference here in the heart of the city of London at the QE2 Center.
Welcome to London Blockchain Conference. Please take your seats. The conference is about to begin.
Nice.
And the early bird gets the worm. So, Kurt, tell me, Ordinals is a huge phenomenon. Bloomberg just released news about Ordinals just over the night while we were sleeping. So what's your experience with BRC-20 tokens and Ordinals?
Well, quite a bit, actually. So tokens actually are one of the major things that got me interested in Bitcoin initially. And in 2015, I also had, I was just getting into counterparty tokens and loved this idea of issuing assets on Bitcoin. And then this is really when the scaling war started, is that the op return got shrunk down to 40 bytes per transaction, which killed the thing that I was working on and really informed the way that I've treated Bitcoin ever since. Ordinals in general has been a real wake-up call for a lot of people. Like the small blocker mindset, Bitcoin can't do X, Bitcoin's not designed to do Y. That narrative has been, it's ruled the day for 5 or 6 years now. And it has just had its legs absolutely cut out from underneath it, which is amazing because the ability to put assets in a UTXO on a coin, as it were, is incredible. And BRC-20 is an extension to that concept, given that you can issue multiple fungible coins on top of a single SAT. It's fascinating from a protocol standpoint. I can criticize some of the technicals about it, but ultimately, you can't just sit there and tell the market it's wrong. So I think it's fantastic. I think it's amazing. It is something that I have been hoping people would get their eyes open to for many years now. So it's a lot of vindication on me standing firm and saying no, Bitcoin can, and I think we're just getting out the gates with it. I think people now that it's just going to be thousands of people thinking about what can we do with this. I mean, it goes exponential.
Right.
Quickly.
That's the data on chain.
Yeah.
And we have seen in the past they called it colored coins. So nowadays this is alive, and we have seen that some folks have said, oh no, don't spam the network. And from my humble opinion, it's as though back in the day, Hal Finney and Satoshi, they were looking at that 1 megabyte limit as a kind of training wheels, or like a gate you put out for your children when they're learning to walk. You don't want them running all over the house or running marathons. They have to take baby steps first. So after the network grew and more miners joined in to build the Bitcoin network, then it was enabled to scale infinitely, unbounded. And then what happened is that some, demigods took control, and they changed the protocol to, limit it forever with the different functionalities enabled within the blockchain. So Kurt has vast experience from this history, and it's amazing to see what you're doing also with Jungle Bus today.
Yeah. So we do a lot of things. Bitcoin has had those training wheels on for 13, 14 years now. And those training wheels are really great if you want to keep it small and if you want to keep it from growing. But I want Bitcoin to flourish. And so to do that, Jungle Bus really is it's a modified piece of node software, basically, and heavily modified. But it's designed to give people access to the data that's on the blockchain without having to download the whole blockchain and validate it themselves. And if we get exponentially bigger than where we are today, especially rapidly, if the block size goes up every quarter for forever, That's very untenable for somebody to even run a pretty big business and operate a node for that data. So what we're saying is, hey, we run a mining pool. We have to run nodes, very, very powerful ones. So what if we have this tangential side node that is designed for you to connect to it to extract just the data you need for your business? So we're sort of becoming like an ISP, essentially. So
Yes,
I want people to think of us the way that they think of AT&T or Comcast, or if you're moving your business into this building, you need to figure out who your ISP is, and that's your first thing you do.
Provider.
Yes.
Right. Yes. And so with that, we have seen. Well, actually, you just blew my mind. I lost it. But the other concept is about data on chain, and that this is a protocol for the data economy. So Bitcoin is not just technology, it's an economic system. And the miners have incentives to mine. And it's not going to be a subsidy forever that gives that incentive. It is the fees that will give that incentive. And like Bloomberg reported, the Magic Eden representative said there had been over 200 million, I believe, dollars worth of liquidity coming into the NFT space of Ordinals just in the past month.
Wow. I believe it. I mean, memes are money. Data is money. I like all of it. And I think, the convergence of AI into the normal human element, like all of a sudden everybody uses ChatGPT and all of these things. Like, well, what is that? That's data ingestion, data processing, and valuable data. What is the value of data that you can utilize? And so at this point, if people don't think data is money, I kind of don't know what to tell them. But Bitcoin allows us to take every byte of data and attach value to it and make exchanges with that data. And again, just giving those tools to people, I don't know what they're going to invent with it. But if you keep taking multiple things of value and you remove friction from them and you allow them to be put together in ways that can create exponential value, like, that's a world I want to live in. So I'm very excited for it.
Right. And that's why we're thrilled to be here today at the London Blockchain Conference, founded by Air Ventures and the CoinGeek team. There are so many businesses that are here that are building these solutions that could be used for logistics, supply chain, music, digital rights of music and the music industry and the arts. It's just, so many opportunities are there for companies to engage in and to monetize their data or to make the most of the data economy. So who are you most excited to see their presentation today?
Oh man, tons of them actually. I'm not normally such a nerd for wanting to watch all the stuff, and as like kind of staff, I have a booth here. Like I'm very busy, but so I normally don't get to see a lot of these things. But Calvin's probably speaking right now, doing his intro. Craig has a couple presentations. I think anything related to the like IPv6 related stuff, the Terranode stuff. There's a couple of panels that I'm really interested to see, and it's all for me. It's always going to be like scaling specifics, infrastructure, and tokens. Like those are the things that really blow me away. I'm actually much more of a classic like Bitcoin is cash kind of guy, but I feel like that conversation has been like, we get it, right? It's money. I want to trade bubblegum for Bitcoins, and like that's fine.
Right. It's
like,
the old it's that and more.
Right, exactly. Like there's just not much to talk about there anymore.
Yeah.
But it's ubiquitous. It matters. In 20 years, if there's not a billion transactions a day of people buying their groceries, then we've also failed. But
we shall be victorious.
Yes.
Ever victorious. Yes.
But all that to say, I'm very interested in the tech futurism aspect of the whole thing. So it's I'm going to be a little bit of a fanboy and a nerd and sit and watch some
awesome.
presentations.
I love it. I love conferences so much. There's so much to learn. And earlier I met Kane from Vianex. And he's one of the lead developers of the STAS protocol.
Yes.
And so he explained to me that STAS will also offer ordinals on STAS tokens. So it's almost like you have a plate at a buffet and you can pick and choose what you want to put on that plate and then hand it around to others.
Yeah.
So I love that.
No, it's brilliant. That's kind of the beauty of ordinals being a SAT-based token, and STAS being a script-based token,
Ooh.
means that you can marry them together, and you can have a STAS ordinal without having to do any real modification of either concept. And so
interoperability.
Yeah.
I love it. And then
Yes.
how about on Run?
Run, actually, you could also integrate Run, because Run is an operaturn-based protocol. But we've basically discovered the inefficiency of Run at scale, given we've had days where there's 20 million Run token transfers and mints and melts and all of that. And Run is really great, but trying to have a protocol do too many things at once is something that Run tried nobly to do, and I think I still am a fan of Run protocol, but it can only scale to a certain point before it's just it can't go any further, because it's trying to do too many things. It's trying to simulate Ethereum, and that's why Ethereum can't scale also.
Exactly.
So,
and this brings me back to what I forgot earlier, and that is the Raspberry Pis. So people that have been in the BTC decentralization keyword fan club for so long, they have focused on being in control. They say, I have the whole blockchain on my Raspberry Pi. This is decentralization. I'm the boss. And what you're doing and how Bitcoin is enabled at its birth is to have competitive advantage, have competition, to scale up into data centers where they're competing to run the network that then fuels the whole infrastructure of the data economy of the world.
Small blockers are political, and they're political first. And so they start at a political problem, they create a political solution, and then they try to back the technology into it. That's not how free markets work. So free markets specialize. The more you give people opportunity to specialize and optimize, the better, faster, cheaper that the tech gets, and frankly, the freer the economy gets. And so under the guise of, hey, it's really important to keep the tech small so we can be more free, they have turned themselves into a new layer of an aristocracy, like slapping people's wrists and enforcing purity tests. It's not healthy. And the lack of health in their culture has shown how quickly, like, the Ordinals thing has replaced the mind virus going on over in the BTC camp. And it's because, again, it's freedom. They're the more free group over there, and they're replacing the rigid, the antiquated sort of, I don't know what to call them.
Yes, I know. This is a bit rude, but I had thought of the word control freak.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. It's like a mother hen sort of. It really makes me think like Spanish Inquisition almost. Like, you're like, these are the rules; they're unbreakable. Like, why did you think you could do this? It's very. It's insidious. It's really, really unhealthy.
Right. So we're glad to be here in the free market-based, ever-improving, continuous improvement Kaizen scene. And Twitter Spaces has become ever more exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Because now all the people are mingling together. So the folks that were on Ethereum, which couldn't scale because it's the second layer run on Raspberry Pis with the on and off channels, and it's just a big, mess over there. They are now getting into Ordinals and building Ordinals on BTC, and that network is expanding. And then in BSV, we've been here all along since 2018, championing the essence of the productiveness and the utility of Bitcoin.
Yep.
And when our friends or our professors say, hey, this is blockchain, right? Yes, Bitcoin is the application of blockchain. So it's very exciting to be here now and to gather all the clicks together and say, hey, let's play.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you're giving people modular building blocks, like a box of Legos, and say, hey, what can you build? And the answer is anything. And if you can get that far with it, I mean, who knows? Like, there's some small percentage of people that are the geniuses that will invent something incredible with the tools you give them. And all I try to do is give people more and more tools. I want to see what they build, be part of the fun. So.
Yes, and Kurt, you are a lot of fun, and you're a great teacher, and you're also have the championing spirit. So thank you for your courage and your determination, your grit, and your goodwill. and your leadership.
Well, thank you, Rory.
Yes, thank you. Bitcoin historian, Kurt Wuckert Jr., live from London. So y'all, welcome back soon. We'll have more live broadcasts here from the CoinGeek stage. You can see Kurt broadcasting with the pros. And then I'll be back again soon for more talk on everything Ordinals. Bye.